Alrighty, now we've got a running engine, which is superb. We are trying to fit the intercooler pipe. I've got a few random pieces that I've collected over time, and I should be able to chop this up enough to give me the angles I need for in here. So I think before I really get to it, I'm gonna have to take the bumper off again just to give me access to the front, because it's just too hard to work on with the bumper there. Too many things in the way. One issue I do have though is the brackets that actually bolt onto the bumper. Ow, don't know if you can see them, but just in there, the little Y piece that goes through and bolts onto the chassis of the car, they're pretty much in the way of where the intercooler piping has to go. So I've got to make sure the intercooler piping is as tight as it can be on the elbow to the intercooler as possible, so it doesn't rub up against that when it goes back on. Sorry, I got the hiccups. So I'm going to pull this apart and see what we can find, see if there's going to be an easier way of doing this piping. It's going to be a tight fit, but it is doable. I've just got to work it out. So that's one bumper removed. You can see what I'm talking about now. That's the hole I've got to play with, and that has to hook up to the intercooler. I wish it was kind of in line. I wish the hole was like up here or the intercooler was down there, because it would make it easier to fit the plumbing. But can't really do much about that. I don't want to be chopping a big hole up here as well, because there's actually two bits of steel there, and it looks like a structural part where it's like doubled up and molded in a funny pattern. So I don't really want to remove that. I'm happy if I have to just open this up a little bit more, we'll see. But that does actually fit a 63mm pipe, which is the diameter of the pipe I got to play with. So pretty much I should have enough access there on both sides to get into it. I just got to start playing around and figuring stuff out, because you know I need an intercooler to work. That's a bit gross. I might take that panel off completely. We'll see. Anyways, I'll get to it. The way that's sitting right now, I might be able to just get a 90-degree piece of hose, 63mm silicone, and go from this outlet to there. I hope that could actually work with a bit of stretch and some good quality clamps. That could work really well. And then the way that's positioned on the inside should allow my flexible hose that I purchased to fit over the top, and I'll try and show you that now. Alright, so hopefully I can just get a 90-degree piece to go from there to there. And if I hold that in position there, which looks like it's an okay spot, from up here, from here to here, I should be able to use my flexible piece of hose. Which, if that's the case, that's going to be very simple and I'll be really, really happy. But I'm going to give that a go. So I guess I have to go back to the shops and buy some more silicone. God, if I get it wrong though and I chop it up and it doesn't work, I'm not going to get my money back. But I'm pretty confident that I'm really close. It's worth a shot, I think. Let's do it. Back from shopping, and I hope it was a success. I did manage to grab some 90-degree elbows. They're going to get hacked up to try and make this thing fit. The only issue I'm going to have is the original flexible pipe that I purchased is the size to fit this intercooler pipe. So that's a 57mm, but the intercooler is a 63. So having that flexible hose running down to the top of this pipe being a 63 and that a 57, I don't think that it's going to fit. This here is simply too small to go over that pipe, so I'm going to have to work out what I'm going to do there. And this pipe doesn't stretch that well. I might have to, I don't know, get a steel pipe, like a reducer for there, which is going to mean 2 more hose clamps as well. It's going to be a hose clamp mess. But nevertheless, I still want to try and get this part hooked up to the intercooler side of it anyway, and then I can stuff around with that last, maybe. Nothing's going to be set in place for now, because if I did take it apart, it's all going to be hose clamped anyway. It's time to get to it and just start mocking it up. And well, hopefully we get something to fit. Okie diddly. I'm pretty happy with that. A nice flush join on this end of the intercooler. Runs around to just pass in through this hole, and that goes in about 1.5 inches. So again, it gives me plenty of room to put a hose clamp on there, and then it comes up facing relatively the correct position I need for this downpipe. Again, I've got the issue of actually fitting that on there. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but regardless, it's in the right spot, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I think now it's just going to be a matter of making it fit a bit nicer. I can actually shorten this a little bit to bring it closer to the firewall here, or it's the front of the car, sorry. I think that would just give me a bit more room in here. I'd like this pipe to come as close as it can to the front. And it looks like it will give me space to chop off a bit of this steel pipe here. But I'm pretty happy with that. This end looks good. I might put a little white mark here to know exactly the orientation of this pipe so I don't stuff it up. But I'm pretty happy. So I'm going to continue working on it. Fingers crossed I can work out a way of fitting this top pipe onto that pipe, which I might actually stuff around with now before I go any further with this, because that's going to be a pain in the ass job and I may as well get it out of the way. So we'll see how I go. This is proving to be a real pain in the butt. The flexible hose, because it's smaller than the diameter of this, is being a real pain in the butt. It's not squeezing over. It's got 2 big thick steel bands on the inside of it that aren't opening up enough to pop over. I only have to get it over like 1 inch and that'll be all. So I've got that thing soaking in boiling hot water in the kitchen. Once that's soft enough, I'm going to give it another go. Hopefully it squeezes over. See. Okay, I've officially given up on this. It was a great idea, flexible hose coming from the top and make it look kind of half neat and all that, but it's just too tight to fit over this steel. And the only other alternative I can think of is literally just changing the hose. So that's kind of a pain in the butt, wasted some money there. And also, this stuff from Autobahn is not the cheapest in the world. The silicone hoses, they're like $20 to $30 a piece. But I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to go and put silicone hoses down through the pipework, and whatever, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. But at least it will get the car done. You know, it'll be sorted. It will definitely fit So I went to Autobarn and I bought a few more bits and bobs to help work. I got some 45-degree pipe bends just to give me the extra length and the bend I need down to the bottom there. And I got the biggest pain in the ass piece that I needed to make this work was a 56mm or 57mm to 63mm pipe reducer. So I got those. I also got just an extra piece of length because I know that I'm going to need a little bit of length to extend it down. I'll probably cut that in half and it should be enough. And a couple extra hose clamps to fit all the extra pain in the rear end hose clamps on. So I'm going to have so many pieces butted back and forth together, I'm going to need more hose clamps, and that's them there. So I got some larger ones and I got some smaller ones. So let's get to it. Let's finally put this thing back together. So the intercooler's done. I've spent more than what I wanted to, but I can't do much about it, sadly. It's the way it is. I'm going to have to eat baked beans on toast for an extra few weeks, but at least it gets progress done. So let's put this sucker back together. Alright, well, although I'm not a massive fan of the look, I'll live with it. I haven't tightened that side up yet, but yeah, it cost a bit and I'm a bit annoyed at that, but it is in. Goes down to a bit of an extender, and then the elbow down there goes through the front, comes out and into the intercooler. So she's done. That's it for that side. Anyway, let's put the other side on, and hopefully it goes on as easy. Okie diddly, we're done. It's a big day. It was an expensive day, but the intercooler's done. I only just was able to squeeze this onto the flange there. That runs down to the elbow down there, and then it comes out just like the other side, like so, straight into the intercooler. Same on the other side, straight through the hole. Now, good thing I didn't have to actually do any cutting or editing to this piece here. It fit through the steel pipe. So that is now on, and I know I said I didn't like the look of it, but it's not too bad. I'm sure that they'll get all scratched up and crappy at some point anyway, but it's done. The intercooler is plumbed up, and I'm pretty sure that none of these are going to leak. I've done them up really tight. It's only going to hold low boost anyway, so not too fussed there. And I just picked myself up a cheap $20 air filter, just so you know it's on there, and I got somewhere. It's got somewhere to live, sit out in a box. I'm hoping that that air filter gives me enough room for my washer wiper bottle combo thing here, which it probably would. I still need to make a bracket for it. Not the end of the world. If I need to shorten this up, I can do that. I've got about that much room to play with here, so that would be fine if I need to bring it back a bit. But regardless, intercooler plumbing is finally done, and oh yeah, and I put the bumper back on. I'll do that another time. I swear I got more stuff to do under there anyway, so I may as well leave the bumper off. So yeah, I'll leave the bumper off. I still got to play with all the lights and finish all that up. But yeah, intercooler plumbing done. I'm out. I'm still sick, so I'm going to go rest. Peace out.